ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Humanity Never Dies. In the last episode, the team was sent to destroy a decoding device in the hands of Advent. We showcased the power of the chosen weapons, with Ahmed's handling of the hunter's sniper and Fang's expert blade skills with the assassin's katana. We made short work of the enemy, ending in the fight in explosive style. Once back on the Avenger, the Avatar projects came near completion, and as the timer started ticking, we sent the A-Team to uncover the secrets of the Codex coordinates. Despite the threats of chrysalids and Gatekeeper, we struck out and took the gate for ourselves, upgrading the Shadow Chamber in the process, and readying ourselves for what is to come. So we begin our operation as we assault this Advent facility to get rid of the Avatar projects close to completion. We've taken our Spark with us. They move forward and start looking awesome, I guess. Shiba's then going to go close by, readying herself for that first shot that's going to be happening. I'm not 100% sure whether or not I'm going to stay in concealment for this first turn, or whether or not I am actually going to just fire off right at the beginning. It's very likely that I might just fire off right at the beginning. Just because why not, I guess. We've spotted the enemy. There's not really much more that we can do beyond killing them now that we've spotted them. Regardless, that is what we're going to be doing. So I've not ended the turns of absolutely everyone. It looks like I'm just going to go for the shot straight up. It's probably not a terrible idea. I'm going to start off with Ahmed firing with her sniper rifle, dealing 9 damage, nothing too fancy. Got a few Overwatches that are coming off, so we'll see what happens there. Well, Fang misses. Toshiba does not, however, dealing quite a bit of damage to the officer, and then Mises actually killing and getting a ambush kill skill point from killing the other dude, trooper man. 46% chance to hit the Advent officer with Xiaolong. She's definitely going to go and do that, missing, however, although the car does get into explosive range at that point, with a Spark then going into Overwide, which gives him an additional action, I believe. So they're going to be able to go around the side and then assault the officer with a normal attack. Should actually get flanking. The error of doing that, however, is that I have now spotted an Archon and a Codex, which is kind of irritating, but we can then use the Blaster Bomb, which I think is exactly what we're going to do. That will uncover a lot of cover, or we're not going to. It's probably not a good idea, actually, because the Codex will then do a lot of stuff. Actually, the Spark does manage to kill the Advent officer straight up, so that's not too bad. Then, for whatever reason, the Codex then teleports towards the car that's about to explode, and then disables a bunch of our weapons. Probably quite a good idea, actually, not bad at all. Archon then comes close to us, goes into Overwatch. Car explodes, dealing 6 damage to the Codex, which then clones itself into 2 different types. So far so good. We've not really taken any damage, although we are kind of sitting ducks now at the moment. There is obviously Archon and Overwatch, which I've completely ignored, and the Spark does take 5 damage from it, although it does have a bunch of stuff, armor, which is good. It then goes next to the Codex to go and shoot it, which does manage to take it out, as well as pick up the loot earlier on as well. So next we have Xiaolong, who is just going to fire the Archon with her sniper rifle, misses, although she's not in an elevated position, so can you really blame her? Ahmed's going to go around the side. She does get a free reload with her sniper rifle, especially since it's the hunter sniper rifle, which, as we discussed previously, is ridiculously powerful. Going to get a nice little lightning hands first, striking once, which does actually do 6 damage. Just looking to see. I think the Archon gets panicked. No, just Battle Frenzy. She is wearing the Icarus armor, so I wasn't sure whether or not the Archon would panic from it, but I don't feel like he's in range at the moment to actually see that. Fang does have the ability to go up to the Archon straight up with her katana. Look how much damage this thing does. It's insane. If she hits, of course, which she does for 11 whole damage. It's just crazy. Leaving the Archon on a very low amount of health, although he is very much out of range. That said, if he does move, Ahmed will, Fang, sorry, will get a Blade Master Strike, although that apparently does not matter, for Mises is going to ensure that the kill is confirmed, gaining the rank of Major in the process. And then Toshiba is just going to walk into cover, reload, and prepare for the next wave of enemies. So still no damage done from any of us, or for any of us, I should say. That's a complete and utter lie, because the what's it called? Big metal robot thingy lost some health earlier. The Spark unit, yes, that is what they're called. Anyway, moving on with our dudes. We're just going to take as much cover as possible because before the facility is a very large wall of stone. So we're going to move up as much as we can with all of our troops to be able to then reload, prepare. Almost as if it was room from for one of the chosen facilities. So there's a lot of dashing that's needed, especially after we sort of fanned out for that initial fight. But we managed to take out 2 groups of enemies, so that's not too bad. Just got to ensure, I think there's probably another 2 or 3 groups of enemies left. So we're going to move up with the Spark unit, try and see if we can spot any of the enemies. And we do. In fact, we spot one of the alien rulers, because we've been missing them, and this is the one that we are missing, which is the Berserker Queen, as well as then a lovely thing on the roof, one of those turrets. So we got the Berserker Queen, very dangerous. I feel like we're in a good position in general just because we can do a lot of damage to it. So I shoot at it with the Spark unit, which does 6 damage as well as shredding 3 of its armor. It's then going to have its reaction moving up to the Spark unit, try and clamp it down, just get shut down for 2 turns. So we're not in a great position for it, but we're not in an awful position either. We get Xiaolong to shoot at it with a Deadeye for 67% chance to hit. If that does hit, it'll do a load of damage, which it definitely does, doing 24 damage, which is insane. It's also going to make the Berserker Queen retreat straight away. Oh, maybe not. Oh no, yeah, I thought so. There was some delay then. Ahmed then going to take a shot, dealing critical damage as well, though we don't see how much it is. It is actually a hair trigger, which means she's going to be able to shoot again. We've almost taken out 2 bars of health on the Berserker Queen already. This one not critical, but still 9 damage. And then the Berserker Queen going to escape very quickly away. So very quick fight there, only having 3 of our operatives actually take action. However, we do need to make Toshiba go up so that she can take out the turret, so the turret doesn't get a free shot on our Spark unit, because we don't particularly want the Spark unit to get struck down. Shooting at the turret, dealing 10 damage is sort of shredding all the armor, but it's left on 2, so we're going to have to get Fang around the side to try and take it out, whilst not alerting any of the alien enemies, but we sadly do. There's an Andromedon as well as a Spectre, I believe. No, it's another Archon. So that's not great, that's not what we want. We kind of just wanted to take out the turret and relax for a while. Got a random grapple, interesting. Why do I want to do that? Not complaining, I guess you can go there and slice up the turret. No additional aliens have been noticed either, so that's good. Random slashability there. Blowing up the turret with no problem there. So we've still got Mysis, who needs to move. He's not really in a great position, although he can flank around in that direction, which is exactly what he's going to be doing. Getting behind a tree, ending our turn. So, Berserker Queen taken care of. We're taking care of the Advent turret. Oh god, Andromedon goes up to Fang, who gets a Blaze Storm attack, who deals 12 damage, which ignores obviously the armor. But then we spot that there are some enemies below, and this is just awfulness. So there's a Sectopod as well, apparently. Fang gets thrown down through the roof. She's untouchable, so she doesn't actually take damage from the Andromedon, but obviously she does take damage from the fall, as well as just all the other enemies showing up. Then the Archon is going to go and do a Blazing Pinions attack. So everything's not going too well. This has kind of got overwhelmed very quickly there, to be sure. With Mysis then we're going to go around, so we've got a combat protocol that's potential. We could also attempt to hack. The Spark is completely out, which is awful. It's shut down in that position. Could do a combat protocol for 7 against the Archon, or we could flank around. Mysis just not in a great position overall. So we're just going to forego his go for now. We're going to figure out what we can do later. She was going to go around the side. She does have the possibility of the Plasma Blaster, which is an awful weaponry, really. Doesn't have the shocking factor that the blaster bomb does. She's still going to fire it at the... she fires it at the... It's so bad. Like, it doesn't even shred any armor. It's so bad. Long is going to then reload. She does have a shot at the Archon, which she is going to fire at. Firing and going through the Archon, not actually hitting him for whatever reason. So things aren't going too well. Ahmed's going to have to use her free reload and then fire up at the Archon also, I believe, because we kind of need to take him down whilst we're able to. The Plasma Blast is just the most underwhelming weapon I've ever used in my life. It's so bad, and I cannot recommend it less. It's so terrible, and what we do here is the perfect thing that we need to do is retreat from this area. So Fang's going to retreat into cover, going into run and gun so that she can get some shots onto one of the enemies. 70% chance to hit the Archon, which she fires up. Does, however, miss, I believe, but it does obviously get the actions. We do actually get a hair trigger from it, so she's going to be able to fire again at some point when the game decides to allow me to. I think that misses as well, also dealing 3 damage, so it's not great at the moment. We're not doing as good as we probably should be doing. I'm not sure if I probably could have played this better, although I don't know how much of that is because I'm just not playing well, or how much is just because of the ridiculousness of what's going on. Mysis actually making sure that the kill is guaranteed. Our Spark unit takes damage from the Blazing Pinions, although not that much overall. But then we get the danger, which is the Sectopod, which actually strikes at Toshiba, dealing 9 damage as well as shredding 2 of her armor. Then it's going to move forward. Is it going to go for the Spark? Is it going to go for Toshiba? Who knows? Turns out it's going to just do a Wrath Cannon, so we should be fine for now because it just doesn't have any more turns. However, Shield Bearer's going to move up, cast some shields up, which is going to be awful. And then this guy is going to go around, fire at Toshiba, misses, thankfully. However, this trooper then fires, and unlike the other one, does not miss. So Toshiba does get killed, leading to Mysis berserking. So he's going to go around and fire several times at the Sectopod, dealing a ton of damage to him though. 3 whole shots, which does actually kill the Sectopod. It's ensuring explosion. So I guess even though Toshiba died, we still got something out of it, but it's really not worth the damage that we took overall. With Mysis panicking now that his berserk is done. Got a Blaster Bomb ability, which we definitely need to use with our big boy Spark unit. I'm going to try and hit as many of them as possible. There's not really much of a position I can get overall, so I'm just going to fire once at the Andromedon and do no damage whatsoever, which actually ends my turn, which that's a misplay. There's a big misplay for that. Shalom not really in a great position. She's going to have to grapple up. She's also not got a great weapon for the grappling because she's just got access to the pistol and she has no range whatsoever. We're going to move up into hard cover and hope for the best at that point. Ahmed does have the Icarus jump, which is fantastic because it allows us to get into a really good position where we can actually start shooting the enemies that we need to, as well as the fact that it will only count as a half action when she fires, although she does get shot at by an Overwatch shot, which does 10 damage as well as reducing the armor, so she's going to have to lightning strike that, or lightning strike something. It's just awful. I'm playing so trash. Dark Claw does manage to actually crit and kill the Andromedon, so that's always good, but very irritating. I kind of tempted to use the kill zone ability at this point, although I decide not to do anything rash for now. Instead, we're going to move down with Fang to see if we can do any damage to the Andromedon potentially, as well as the ability to slash up. Firing at the that's actually not a bad move to slash at the Andromedon because it will again get a Blade Storm attack afterwards. Although there are so many enemies and we don't really have the best of luck of what's going on at the moment. So we're going to go for the kill zone. And then Fang's going to go around the side. I think she's going to fire at the Andromedon. I feel like she should just have slashed. 100% chance to hit. Or we can dual strike. That will mean that her and Ahmed both get a shot. Shoots it because a critical 14, and then Ahmed then gets her shot at it. going to shoot with her sniper rifle, killing it outright. So maybe not the worst of abilities or decisions to make. Killzone does get active, fires at the shield bearer, does take full damage from it, and the shield is removed. Does, however, then shoot at the spark, although misses, which is very nice for us. The next guy moves up, does not get hit by the kill zone, either probably because Ahmed has no ammunition left. Spark does get hit by him and is now on a very low amount of health, and is then going to get shot at by the final one. The Spark then dying, so not the best. So we've lost 2 operatives in this mission. It's not great. This is probably our worst since the mission that we had with the Warlock, where we lost 2 of our guys there. Although I feel like this was such much like this should have been an easier mission. Really, I've just played it awfully. Potential for a Deadeye on the Elite Trooper, although I'm just going to decide to just go for the regular the regular attack. Due to the shielding, I probably should have killed the shield bearer first before doing that kind of thing. Free reload from Ahmed, she really needs some healing. And then we're going to strike down and fire at what we can. Go try and get for as many kills as possible. Killing him will ensure a death from above strike, which allows us to shoot again. There's a trooper down. Get another shot. We're going to go for the shield bearer down here due to the fact that I ignore armor. I don't ignore armor. The Dark Claw ignores armor. Interesting. Fang going to move around. She does have the ability to slash, which probably is the best thing that she could do at that point, killing the shield bearer outright and gaining untouchable. There we go, he is dead, so that's always good. And then that leaves only Mises to then take his turn. He's so far away. I feel like Mises was just not in a great position this entire battle. He did use the combat protocol in a really great way, but definitely not the best. Going to use the aid protocol on Ahmed to ensure that she does not get hit next time. She is in full cover, plus 40 defense. Should make sure that she doesn't get hit, although a grenade will definitely do a lot of damage. But the trooper instead fires at Fang, who is untouchable, so we are lucky in that aspect. We can just move on with the rest of it. A tense one, definitely. Going to go for the slash on the elite trooper, which should kill him, although potential of not doing so, but it definitely does in that case, so we are good there. We can move the rest of our team around. We're going to use Mises to then recuperate the loot that has been dropped by our Spark unit, and then he's going to go next to the tree to mourn the loss of Toshiba, his bondmate. It's truly a awful thing to lose. Oh man. So yeah, approaching the end of this mission now, as Fang is very close to the place where she can put the X4 charge, and then we just need to leave and evacuate the area. So we're just going to put the evac point there so that we can just dash into it straight away and just end the mission there. Not entirely sure whether or not we would have found any more enemies, but at this point I don't even want to risk anything. There we go, that's that mission done. Poor showing from us, I'm not going to lie, but we did get the victory, which will ensure that the Avatar project has been stopped.
Okay, maybe I'm getting a little creeped out now. I mean, I was definitely not a fan of the big sentient robot vacuum face and the attitude of Matilda. She was there against the Warlock when Stuart fell. She was there when I really needed someone. I have no one to blame but myself, I guess. We were overconfident, we thought we could take on anything. Hell, Shen, the head engineer, tells you this big lad is going to take the hits and kill all the aliens. You assume that the big lad is going to take the hits and kill all the aliens. I think I need to lie down.
Bit of a sombre return as we come back to the Avenger, having lost 2 operatives, one technically a synthetic robot thing, but the other being Toshiba, who was with us for quite a while actually, although she didn't really partake in a lot of missions. She did do a lot of covert operations. However, do get 2 level ups in the form of Fang and Mises. Mises reaching the major rank, and we're going to go with most probably Guardian. Oh, Ever Vision. Alright, prove me wrong. I deserve it. I don't actually remember if it was Fang or Ahmed who got Colonel, but I'm not going to go back to figure out, so... Well, hey. But we did manage to successfully get a bunch of supplies for destroying that, so we're going to do that and upgrade our power on the Avenger, giving us the ability to get an additional engineer to power us up for 41 out of 54. And then going to move swiftly on to show that the Avatar project has been vanquished for a little while. Going down 4 whole blocks, so that should keep us safe for now and probably for the rest of the campaign as we approach the end. There's still a while to go. We still got several research pieces that we need to do, and obviously in case anything else pops up, make sure that we can take care of those as well. For now we're just going to go for the assorted loot. We've got a supply drop coming in, which will allow us to see how terrible we've done, or how well we've done. Well, I'll tell you, we've done very well in that all of the chosen are dead, although apparently I just go straight into ignoring that completely. Get an additional resistance order, so we're going to go with the inside job 1, which gives us even more intel for reward, which will be really good. And then we've got 212 supplies for us to go and get, to spend it on something. I'm not entirely sure what we need to spend it on and what we've got left to do. Get ourselves a Hellfire Projector, which is better than the Plasma Rifle, that's for sure. Plasma Rifle? Plasma Blaster. God, that Plasma Blaster was underwhelming. I feel like that's what lost us the game. Not my crappy decision making. It was the fact that we had the Plasma Blaster. It's not great. It's not good at all. Like, I understand it's probably great in the aspect of it can replace Null Lance, but Null Lance is like 11 to 15 damage, which ignores armor. Whereas the Plasma Blaster is a line that seems to do between like 9 and 11 and doesn't ignore armor. Like, what kind of crappy weapon is that? Especially since the main armament, it like shreds, whatever. I'm just very frustrated. Get a nice little supply drop there, as well as Farlago and Kilby reaching bond level 3 and Ahmed recovering from her wounds from that. Got a facility lead that we can go for, but I think we're just going to return to our assorted loot, and then that should give us a bunch of stuff that we can use on our way, which would be nice. We've got several days there. We've got the Sonic Gate research that is very close to completion, but we are going to... oh, the covert action actually going to reduce that avatar spread for a bit more. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing. Covert ops really going to be taking our time for now. Going to ensure that we can do a bunch of cool stuff. Going to send Vandervoort out for a superior weapon upgrade along with Smith, and going to give it some supplies as well to ignore any wounds. And then we're going to view our soldiers to level up Xiaolong. Just going to go for death from above. Oh, quick draw would be nice. It's interesting I've not gone for any gunslingers. I usually do go for full-on gunslingers, but I feel like I do like the snipers. They're just better in every aspect, basically.
Hate to do this, but you're the only one who can pull this off. You know I'd go myself if I could.
The gateway is primed. Is the subject prepared?
Ready. I hardwired what was left of the Codex brain into Rover. It should be emitting the same signal the Codex used to pass through the gateway.
Excellent. Let us begin. We've already seen the Codex opening a similar rift in the field. I am sure your device will be fine.
There. We're set to record across all spectrums. Remember, go in, take some quick readings, then come right back through. Okay? Whoa! Are you seeing this?
It appears our signal has been received. Increasing power.
Doesn't look like any place we've been before. Or any place on Earth, for that matter.
Perhaps this is the source. The aliens' seat of power, if you will. Secure beyond any physical limitations.
Only one way to find out. Go on. We're counting on you. That is definitely not fine, Doctor.
The process did work. There was an instant where the device was in between locations. However, once that occurred, the gateway called for a second signature, an organic signature. When we could not provide one, it generated a sort of feedback pulse.
Obviously.
If the Codex creates the door, this organic signature must surely be the key.
Well, we better make sure we have the right key before we try again. I would hate for this to occur to something organic.
Agreed. I'll report our findings to the commander immediately. This creature represents a near-perfect fusion of human and elder DNA. Though remarkable, it appears as if the creature were unfinished. Perhaps why we were able to ultimately defeat it. Still, this can lead me to only one logical conclusion.
We had such hope for you.
I believe we have found our avatar.
The 2 pieces of research having been done, the Sonic Gate completed and the Avatar finally discovered that it's in fact called the Avatar, and that's the whole Avatar project. What it is and what it does. Got a bunch of idle staff, got a bunch of things that we can do, but we are currently, other than removing the trait, once the Avatar Shadow project has been completed, we can move on to the final missions, which will be fun. For now, we've got some other projects that we can do. We're going to probably be making some experimental heavy or powered weapons, since we've got some supplies to do so.
I'll let you know as soon as the project's
It's going to 8 days, although our Shadow project is going to take 9, so we'll just be able to get that in, and then that'll be that. Going to continue with our assorted loot for now, and that's when we're told that there's an Advent retaliation site, so we're going to have to deal with that because we can't really ignore it. So this will be a fun mission for sure. We'll go around and take some dudes. Going to be taking Fournier, Scott, Xiaolong, Mises, Fuentes and White to protect our civilians from Advent's retaliation. The crew lands at the retaliation site. It looks pretty good. What's interesting is our Central said that apparently the Chosen are leading this, although I'm pretty sure they're all dead. In fact, we're using all their weapons currently, so they're probably all dead. Unless there's one that we don't know. Oh my god, could you imagine a 4th Chosen at this stage in the game? Baffling. Regardless, so there's a bunch of movements that we need to make to enable the rest of our crew to be able to move out. So Scott's going to start that, going over to the wall over there. White is then going to go by those boxes and go into Overwatch. Xiaolong doesn't have a grapple because she's got the Icarus armor, so she's not going to do much there. We can open the door with Fournier, which shows that there's not really anything there, but it's just to be careful and to ensure that, you know, you can shoot stuff. Gonna go up with the Icarus armor with Xiaolong, and then Mises is going to go all the way around the side over here. And then Fuentes finally is going to dash very close to the end there. See if we can spot anyone. Just go through a broken down wall and go around the side. We do actually spot a Codex and a Spectre, who are going to start their onslaught by moving slightly around the side of whatever this is. The end of our turn. The alien then moves, so the Codex is going to fire at one of the civilians, missing but also destroying something behind there, quite violently in fact. And the Spectre is going to move around the side over here, and I think going to shoot at one of the civilians also. Yes, they are. Killing him outright for 8 damage. Sorry, Antonio Cruz. Got some more enemies over there, another Spectre. So these spectres, man, they're starting to get very frustrating. And what looks like a muton as well. What the hell is going on there? What was that? What is happening? Why are you floating in midair? Maybe it's because he got spotted. Oh yes, it is definitely because he got spotted. Sadly, Mises does not hit due to the lightning reflexes of the Spectre. That was such a weird glitch, holy crap. Resistance then go and attack at the enemies, firing at and wounding the Codex, which then clones itself, puts itself very much closer to us, which is nice. The other one is then going to fire at the Spectre by the looks of things. Not doing any damage, however. Has it already lost 3 health? That's interesting. Then it's our turn. So we've got 65% chance to hit the Muton, which is exactly what Midas is going to do, killing him outright for 11 damage. That was a perfect shot, absolutely amazing. Got a rend attack against the Codex, which is exactly what's going to happen from Fuentes as well. Mostly because it guarantees his safety from any enemies, whilst also absolutely destroying this Codex. He's going to do that. He's then going to use the parry ability, although he could use momentum, but I don't think that's what I do. Instead, just going straight to parry. Fournier going to go around the side and go into full cover. Going to Overwatch. White's really not in a great position, so he's actually going to dash up next to Fuentes so that he can get a better position and good shots in the future. Shalong does have some good shots, going a very good shot on the Spectre, going to go for Deadeye for 94% chance to do a massive amount of damage, and does get it for 15 damage overall. And then Scott going around the side to get himself into cover. Don't think he has any shots, so he does have shots, 82% chance with the Bolt Caster. Fires it off, does kill the Spectre with a beautiful shot from our Aussie counterparts. Teleportation from the Codex during its turn. It's then going to do a Psionic Bomb, which is going to hit very much all of our team other than Fuentes and White. Spectre then going to go around the side, just going to go for a shot on the civilian, killing Karina Reyna. The Resistance then going to take their revenge, missing at the Codex, and then this guy going for the Codex again, missing also. So good revenge from the Resistance fighters on this situation. Scott's going to have to move up and reload, or could use Combat Protocol. That's probably a good decision to do. Well done. Ensuring that the Codex does not get another turn. Killing it outright there. No reload from Scott this turn in that case. Going to have to move Mises around the side. He's going to have to reload, although he does have the potential for a Combat Protocol. There are no enemies that are currently visible to us. Fonte is going to go around the side, see if he can spot any other enemies, but he does not, so he's just going to go into Overwatch from where he is. Fournier does have a nice full cover over that side, so she's going to reload once she's out of range of the Swirling Vortex. Xiaolong and White left, with White going to move up. I think he's going to have to dash, really, unless he can move up slightly. Okay, it's going to be a slight move going into Overwatch. Going to play this cautiously, probably after the absolute wreckfest that happened last time. It's not very confusing that I would go for that. I'm going to do an Icarus jump around the side here, just to get ourselves out of range, but also because it counts as a free action to do that. This puts us with very nice shots at the Spectre, so we're going to do 100% chance to hit it, shooting, dealing 11 damage. Get a nice little skill event as well. So with the Codex's Vortex done, the Spectre is then going to fire another one of our civilians, killing King Young Lim King. Wow, what a name. Resistance then going to fire at and actually hit the Spectre, doing 6 whole damage, which is not bad in the slightest. And then we can see the other Resistance factor over there with 4 more Resistance members. Scott going to reload and probably not do much more. Oh, he's going to move up, however, fair enough. Miser's going to go around the side, see if he can spot the Spectre. I will choose not to. I think we're just going to move us up to Xiaolong, who's going to go and fire at him, killing him out. 100% chance to hit, so very much guarantee another 11 damage done there. God, that rifle does so much damage. So the Resistance there is completely fine. We've only saved 1 individual, however. There's still quite a few to go. So it's not too bad. Although Resistance is going to be able to move up and support their colleagues. and we're going to have to do a lot of movement to get ourselves to the other end. So we're going to dash up with Xiaolong, who's going to move up to that tree. Then no additional enemies spotted. Mize is going to dash as well, going behind Xiaolong from the left hand side of the field. We've got a whole like cliff face that we kind of have to circumnavigate. We're going to go with Fuentes to get this focusing orb. Get himself up to 3 focus, I believe. Or was that 2? 2 focus, apparently that just showed weirdly for me. Fournier going to dash up, no enemies spotted. White is going to join her, so we've got our 2 heavies on the right hand side. Well, most of our group is actually on the right hand side because Xiaolong and Mises holding up the left. The resistance is then going to do their activity. We see them shoot at blind people. We've got another Spectre, critical 8 damage done there, which is nice. This resistance fighter over here going to fire at a different Spectre, so we've got load of Spectres. Like, are they? It's because they've run out of all the other stuff. They have to go for the synthetic enemies. Got a Berserker over here. As soon as I say synthetic, we got a Berserker. I feel like that might be all the resistance fighters. No, there's a ton of them. Holy damn. Firing at and missing at the Spectre on the left hand side over there. Is that going to be all? Have we got one more? We do actually have one more. Going to fire at another Berserker. Berserkers and Spectres. And we've got another resistance fighter. This time actually hitting the Berserker. Never ends. Well, no, it literally just ends then, but you know what I mean. Scott going to move up. Not going to be able to see any of the enemies, I don't think. We're still going to be out of range. Going to go into Overwatch while he can. Mises, the potential, there is an enemy. He is just going to dash up. That might spot some of the enemies, but if not, then that's not too much of a problem because he will be able to use his constant vigilance to go into Overwatch after his move, with White and Fournier moving up to cover, so that we can maybe see some enemies at this point, or just get into a position where we can actually do something and not just be trailing behind. Xiaolong going to go to the left hand side and go into Overwatch from where she is, and Fuentes then moving up to that tree in a dash before the enemy turn. Got our ever vigilant covering fire over there. We see a Chrysalid along with the Berserker. It looks like 2 Chrysalids and a Berserker who do actually spot our troops. They're going to do a very small move towards us. We've got an Overwatch fire from Fournier, which misses but does 3 damage. Thanks to the... It's not a hair trigger, it's something else, I can't remember what it is. But that will be all from that side. We've got another Berserker coming through. Gets a Overwatch fire from Xiaolong, which does 11 damage. Don't think she's missed 1 shot this so far. And an additional 9 from Mises, so that Berserker really not doing so great health-wise. Along with an additional 2 Chrysalids that move towards the enemies, but don't seem to do any actual damage. Oh no, I thought the Berserker was then, that would have been awful. Oh well, that one definitely does. Poor Katarina Libma. It's got some reload going from the resistance. The other resistance fighters moving away from the enemy. Doing some shooting across the field towards that Berserker. Does manage to hit, so I guess that's worth it. 6 damage that I don't have to deal, so that's always good. More resistance fighters out in the open. There is a lot of enemies around. Another 3 damage done due to the dodging of a Spectre. And then this one's going to go for the Berserker, managing to kill the Berserker outright, which is great for us. And another resistance shooting at the Berserker, doing 6 damage to that one. So far, so good. So, do have a bunch of enemies that we can deal with. We've got a rend that we could do over here, which will hit both of the enemies. We've got a Chrysalid that's going to go down, as well as then the Shockwave hitting for 4 damage at the... Oh my god, that didn't kill the Chrysalid. The Berserker takes 4 damage then. However, it also means that we've been spotted, so the Spectres and the Berserker are going to be taking some movements. And then Fuente is going to be able to parry or use momentum. I feel like parry would have been better just because the Hellfire Projector puts it in the way. And I don't know if... I think White might have the normal Blaster Bomb. Oh no, where's my Blaster Bomb? We've got a Frost Bomb instead. Oh, that is beautiful. Or we could just use the Plasma Bomb. What are we going to go for? Damage or... I guess... I don't know. I feel like the Frost Bomb may have been the better choice, actually. killing one of the chrysalids, getting a promotion as well.
Back in action.
Xiaolong then going to reload and strike at one of the chrysalids. 100% chance to hit. Is it 100% chance to kill? No. Does do a lot of damage though. Does get a free shot as well actually. Going to shoot the other one. Firing, not quite killing it, but definitely doing a lot of damage. Next we have Scott, who's going to go around. I don't believe he has any shots on the enemies, but he does have the potential to use, never mind, I was about to say use combat, but never mind. 90% chance to hit, killing that chrysalid. Get a free hair trigger action from there. Move around the side. 92% chance to hit this chrysalid. And a beautiful 1-2 from Mises over there. Fournier does have a shot on one of the chrysalids. She's going to move slightly closer to get herself a better positioning. Can use a plasma grenade, which is exactly what she's going to do, rather than shooting. That should guarantee some kills, or at least put them on very low amount of health. Firing that off does kill the chrysalid, but does not quite kill the berserker, who's going to go forward. And then Scott is going to get a lovely Overwatch shot, which does actually kill the berserker. Someone screams in pain. Thomas Gregory screams in pain and dies to the berserker. We got some movement from the spectres as the resistance begin their onslaught, firing at and missing the berserker with that guy. The next one is going to fire at the berserker also, this time hitting and killing the berserker. Next resistance member is going to go around and fire at one of the spectres, or maybe not, no, he's just going to move around. This one's going to fire at the spectre. No, he's not. It looks like the spectres are completely invisible. We will not be able to hit them, which is a bit of a shame, but never mind. Scott's going to reload after his successful Overwatch shot, and then going to go back into Overwatch in case the spectres do appear. We're going to have Mises to go around the side and spot for... there's one of them. And spot for Xiaolong. He actually might even get a good shot. Yes, he does. 99% chance to hit the spectre from where he is. Firing and doing critical 14 damage to it. Fantastic. Got a rend action, which is exactly what we're going to go for with Fuentes, which will guarantee his safety as well as spotting any additional enemies. We've got a faceless coming up, right in between all of the friendly civilians. Got momentum, that kills the Spectre there. He's then going to go and go into parry stance. Fournier going to be able to go around the side, going to see if I can see any enemies. No dice, but we are going to be able to then go into Overwatch from where we are, whereas White's going to go through there, open the door, which should give him shots on the faceless from where he is. No, it doesn't. Never mind, eh? Xiaolong, he also doesn't have any shots. Going to go, and there is a barrel which you can hit. Probably not a good idea though, instead she's just going to go into the long watch. Spectre does show itself. It's then going to fire at one of the civilians, maybe? Nope. Oh my lord. That was excessive. Spectre just did nothing, which was interesting. Resistance fighter going to shoot at and kill the faceless, killing it outright. And then this one's going to go and fire off at the Spectre, doing 6 damage to it. And then the next resistance fighter is going to shoot the Spectre also. It actually kills it, so that ends the mission for everyone. Flawless, but not really. We lost quite a few civilians. That weird explosion at the end wasn't great either. But hey, can't complain with that. Successful mission. Got a few level ups as well. Well, a few. One from White. Not my day. But that's all that we care about. We're going to get ourselves volatile mix to increase the damage of our grenades with him. Got 14 civilians rescued, which is nice, as well as several income increasing. Total, pretty good mission overall. I don't feel like we relied on the resistance fighters, but they definitely did a good job. So you can't really say that what they did was bad. Got some grenade and ammo available as well, but I think we're just going to go back to the assorted loot, which is very necessary for us. It's not bad at all. Now we're just going to figure that out. What the hell was that? There is a UFO going around. Gonna have to go away from it as much as possible because we do not want to get seen by it or caught up by it as it just scouts around the map. So we're going to instead go to New Zealand, which I hear is very nice this time of year. Try and find out the facility lead. I feel like we're going there just because there's a UFO around. That's pretty scary. Vandervoort and Smith return from their operations. We're going to get Smith, and there's a promotion also available, so we're going to be sending a major off with them. We could set Fuentes up. She's gone with Scott. We could send Scott, get him up to the captain. We could also send Fuentes, which would put him up to colonel. We could send Motorel, who would put to colonel. We're going to go with Fuentes instead. Fair enough, it's pretty good. Begin that action and return to our operations to just find out this facility lead.
What's going on? What's happening? Scott! Hey wait, Scott! What's happened? Are we under attack or something? Where's Lau or McEwen? What are our orders? Fuck it, I'll take command of this section then. All staff to me. We'll make for the escape pods by the south stairway. Dr. Barnes, Dr. Bernadotte, come with me please, this way. Quickly, Scott. Get the guys from engineering out of there fast.